Hey, bud. NVP here again. While I was on this, I thought I'd just produce one more video while I was here. Um, Awful lot of stuff that comes on the big forums now about learning to trade, especially for beginners, how to progress your career, and where do you start? Where do you start to learn? I was lucky. I came from a gambling background, as possibly some people know. I've always been immersed in money or money changing hands, gambling, betting, whatever you want to call it. And then I was lucky to work for a very large oil company in their trading area when I first joined work. So I've always had a bit of an interest and a bit of an idea of what went on, and from there it progressed. And it wasn't until the early 2000s that I really came back after a bit of a break and got really into it. Got into Forex, found my niche, found strength meters, a few mentors along the way, and I really managed to take it from there. But what happens if you're fresh to it? You just start up. So this guide is for you. What you see in front of you there is a PowerPoint presentation. Again, something I may try and drop on the site if I get some time. But this is very simple advice. So from the top, what are my kind of trading rules for beginners? Well, the first one is take your time, learn the basics first, don't rush in. Obviously, a big temptation to get out there, pick the first person that sends you some junk mail and say, yes, you're going to make millions. Of course you're not. I want you to take your time. This can take months, even years. Just learn the basics. Get out there and don't rush in. Don't put yourself under pressure to try and deliver, because if you put yourself under pressure, you will lose money. And believe me, in this business, you can lose it quickly. Spread that net initially, that learning net, that research net. I want you to sample anything and everything for free, especially for free. Remember that, at the end of the day, have a look at each of the different types of market that are available to trade in. And also look at the different, generalizations, the different high generalizations of how we trade. So price action, using moving averages. Just look at some of those big indicators. Don't worry what people tell you, indicators lag or this or that. Just look at them, make your own decisions. You can only make your own decisions about things by researching and doing it yourself. There's not much you can learn unless you really try it yourself. Remember, one person's poison is another person's nectar, or whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, it's up to you what's going to suit you. And trading is about finding something that fits you, fits your style, fits your personality, fits your lifestyle. Okay? One size does not fit all. So you've got to get out there and try things. Don't worry, just hop about, from one strategy to the next. I tend to have a very haphazard approach to my learning. I will just look at what I want to look at. I don't follow prescriptions. I don't follow rules or certainly follow processes. I just get out there and I look and learn. Okay. Remember, use forums and free training facilities. Get involved in them as well. Okay, you may think you're a beginner and there's nothing much you can learn at Trade to Win or Say, but strike the balance. But if you do feel you want to comment on something, just do it. Get involved. I know you sometimes can feel very nervous, and some of the people out there seem to be these super traders. Who cares? They're just human like you. And believe me, they all had to start somewhere. We all have to start somewhere. And if they really are as good as they claim to be, and they're good people, and potentially they're probably mentors. I mean, to become a good trader, you have to mentor people at some point to learn. Then they should help you. They shouldn't ignore you. They shouldn't be rude to you. If they're rude to you, then they're rude people. It's that simple. I try not to be rude to people. I hope that doesn't come across on my site. Everyone deserves help. Obviously, to a certain extent, if you just keep asking question after question and it's clear that you're not learning from it or doing your own research, then I'm going to tell you to go away, the same as anyone is. It's like anything. You've got to put the time in yourself as well and show you're prepared to learn. Someone once asked me about, how it is when you mentor people and various other things. And I just said to them, well, think of something you're good at. I said, imagine someone came to you and said that they wanted you to mentor them, but every day they came back to you, they asked you the same questions again and again, and they weren't learning anything. What are you going to do in the end? You're going to say, go away and learn, or don't come back. Okay, but don't worry about the forums and the training there. Get involved, but remember, do your time, work hard, and learn. Learn as you go. Next thing I say is be patient. You've got all the time in the world to learn this business. You haven't got all the money in the world. If you take big losses early on because you haven't done your homework or practice or followed some of these rules here and rules that other people will teach you, then you deserve to lose all your money. You deserve to lose your money. My dad and granddad, who used to be in the bookmaking business, always used to tell me that people deserve what they get, or people always want what they get. It's really funny. You have to say to yourself, you're a professional, you want to learn your trade, you want to do it one step at a time. You cannot jump, you cannot jump over that mountain straight away. You have to take your time. Okay, so be patient. Next thing, use demos. A lot of stuff talked about demos, but demos are a great thing. They're great practicing. That's what they're there for. They're not there to lure you in within 10 minutes and go straight online and then start losing money with the broker that's given it to you. They're there to learn. And when I say practice, I don't mean just the system you've come up with, which is your 3MA cross of your 12MA times your RSI and your MACD. I'm talking about practicing. Put trades on, take them off, set stop loss. You've got to be able to do it in your sleep. Think of the military and soldiers working or fighting in a war. Imagine they're in the dark somewhere and they lose all their lighting. That they know how to use their weapons, their equipment. They can do it in the dark. They can do it with their eyes closed. That's what you've got to be able to do with your trading. You should be able to put trades on, take them off, make adjustments, move stop. You've got to be able to do it in your sleep, okay? Because if you don't, if it's not fully automatic, you will mess things up in the heat of battle. I guarantee you, especially for scalping. So use demos to practice everything, including your system, of course, the things that you want to use that will tell you when to enter and exit trades. Okay? Next one down, let's talk about systems. Your system, and this I mean the set of rules you abide by in terms of entry and exit, it's only 10% of your approach. Now that's pretty contentious, and I'm sure people will say it's much more than that. But I'm just trying to make the point. It's the easy bit. Okay? I could give you a system tomorrow based on moving average crossovers that will give you a damn good chance of making money most days. Okay? But that's the easy bit. The hard bit is all the things we're talking about. How you enter the trades, what brokers you're using, your money management, your risk management, your exit criteria, your focus on the screen, making sure your systems are up and running and live and not going to crash on you. You see what I mean? The system is 10% of the approach. Your professionalism, everything you do, is the rest of it. That was what will define you as a trader and define you making constant and consistent profits. Okay? It's not the system, it's the person, it's the trader. Next one, review, refine, enhance, adapt. Never, never, never stop improving your systems and your approach. Okay? You become the eternal student. When you enter this game, the game of trading, you become the eternal student. You are never the master. You never tell yourself you're the master, and certainly never tell other people you're the master because you're asking for trouble. So remember, the eternal student, I want you to continue to review, refine, enhance, adapt everything you do. I'm always looking to try and learn from other people and learn and improve my own systems. Okay, last but not least, as I said, a lifetime of learning and research. The markets are always changing and evolving. The rules for 1 week of the markets will change in the next. You've got to do the same. And you've got to try and create systems that give you the opportunity to view that, okay? And that's what I do with mine. I'm not selling mine here. But my system is a window. It tells me what's going on in the Forex market, okay? Right. Couple of other things. Last but not least, second slide here. Just some other rules. 10,000 hours, what does that mean? Well, people say that generally it's recognised that if someone puts 10,000 hours of focused training, effort, practice in, they start to become a fairly decent advocate or person or practitioner of that particular vocation, art or skill. So if you want to be a doctor, 10,000 hours is a good warm-up. If you want to be a good golf player, 10,000 hours is a good warm-up, okay? Tell yourself that. In some of the things we said in the previous slide, you said, how long does it take me to do X or Y? 10,000 hours. Go and work it out how long that takes, program it into your day on a daily basis, and see how long it's going to take you. After 10,000 hours, you may well start to think that you may have a chance in the business, okay? Because believe me, by 10,000 hours, you will know you will be a long way down the path, okay? Specialize. Once you've gone through that early stage of learning, researching, looking at things, once you're getting fairly comfortable, start to specialize. Specialize more in a particular type of trading. Specialize in a particular market, for example. Start to specialize. I specialize in Forex, okay? And within that, I actually specialize in strength meter trading. So there's my two specializations. Other people I know that are very, very good at what they do and make good money. They specialize in other things. Some may be in commodities. Some may be in equities. Some may be in indices. It goes on. Some may trade options. You've got to specialize. If you don't specialize, you won't gain that extra and expert knowledge that will get you there. Okay. If people disagree, sorry, but that's what I feel. You have to specialize. There's no shortcuts or easy wins. It's hard work. As I've said, 10,000 hours minimum. That's entry level to get you warmed up in whatever you want to be good at. And there's no shortcuts. Which leads me on to the next thing. There is no holy grail or black box system. Okay, you will come across every day on a daily basis. People will try and sell you systems that are going to make you millions of pips a day. I'm really sorry, guys. I hate to break this to you, but it doesn't work like that. Black box systems are out there. Yes, they are out there. But as you see in brackets there, we mortals cannot afford them. I have a close friend who worked for 12 years for one of the biggest banks in the world as a quant programmer supporting the quant traders. Okay, that means that guy knows his stuff. So they do build systems and they do make money. But it's not for us. It costs millions and millions and millions of dollars to create those things, and sometimes they can go wrong as well. So there's no holy grail or black box system. Work on yourself. Make yourself the system. Make yourself the holy grail, okay? Because it's all within you. All you're looking to be is a consistent and profitable trader. Okay, next, mentoring. A mentor helps. Of course a mentor helps. I would recommend that you find your niche first. Don't go to a mentor and say, help me, what do I do? If you were a mentor, if you were someone that's been, say, 20 years in the business and someone cut you at some kind of expo or something and asked you that, what are you going to tell them? You know, you ask them, you want some help, and you say to them, what do you want to trade in? And they say, well, I'm not sure. It could be equities. It could be commodities. Oh, I quite like Forex as well. What do you think that mentor or potential mentor is going to say to you? He'd say what I would say to you. Go away. Spend some time doing some of the things I'm talking about here actually on these slides. Get yourself a bit specialized, then come and talk to me and I'll see if, I'll see, number one, if that's my specialist area that I can help you in. Number two, if it's not, I'll try and find someone that can help you. Okay? You see what I mean about the niche first. Find your niche first, find your specialization. Okay, next, get your head straight. Only trade when in the zone. I dropped out of trade in the late 90s because for various reasons I was really, really busy. I was actually working abroad for a large multinational. My body clock was screwed because I was in the US. And, excuse me 1 second, I'm about to cough. Hang on. That's better. Sorry. I was in the US and yeah, I just couldn't trade. Also, a couple of my family were really, really ill. It was very stressful. Every time I went to the table and started to trade, it was all coming in on me. So what I did, I lost money. I was losing money all the time. So I stepped away. It's that simple. I'm not saying you should do that all the time, but if you've had a stressful day, you've got other things on your mind, your other half is giving you grief, your kids are giving you grief, you've just been overexcited by watching a good TV show, you're listening to fast music, your cat died, whatever. Get your head straight. If your head's not straight, don't trade. You can't trade unless you're really psychologically and mentally in the zone. And when I say in the zone, I don't mean zen-like. I mean you're just ready, alert, and ready to trade. You've got to be able to do the things that make it happen. Remember, as I said, 10%. The system's only 10%. It's the rest of it that make you the money. And this is one of them, being psychologically ready, being in the zone as you trade. Okay? Be realistic setting your goals and ambitions. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that if you've only got 5,000 quid in the bank that you're prepared to risk, you're not going to be a millionaire in a year. Trust me. Trading is all about being consistent and profitable in your trades. And how much you're staking. So obviously if you've only got a small bank that you're looking to increase, of course you'll increase it, and your percentage increases may well be impressive at times, but you're not going to become a multimillionaire. Okay? So be realistic. If you come into this business wanting to be a millionaire within a year, you may as well go away now. Your expectations are not right. And if you're not sure what your expectations and ambitions should be, remember what I said. Go onto the forums. There's lots of free advice out there. You take it all with a pinch of salt. Some may not be what you want to hear, but there are solid, realistic, good traders out there that will tell you what your ambitions should be. Okay, and if that's not going to meet the costs or the lifestyle that you want, then don't come here, because I can tell you losing money is even worse than not making money here, and that's what you're going to end up doing. You take too much risk to try and make that money. You will lose money. You will go broke. Okay. And last but not least, did I mention hard work and practice? The trading business is like any other business in the world. You do not become good without having a certain degree of talent for it. You do not become good without years, huge amounts of practice, focus. You just need so much application. Okay, that's what you've got to be. If you go through all of those things, well, you've got a damn good chance of making money one day, but it won't be overnight. So this is MVP signing off. I hope that was useful to you. Certainly useful to me. Just gives me a bit of a reminder and a heads up to where I need to be always working on. And I hope it's been helpful. Contact me at Trade to Win if you've got any questions. And have a good day. Cheers.